I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about He Wants to Get Over Me. Well, sometimes when our exes end things with us, their focus is moving on and trying to forget about us, trying not to look back. It's not always easy for them. Every situation is so unique. It depends upon that relationship and how it went. But a lot of times, people think they want to move on, and they can't. And so they try to move on. Sometimes they can. Sometimes they look for ways to do it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to look at a situation today that I got from an email coaching from, actually, this is another psychologist. I just had another one do an email with me. And she's in her mid-30s. And the guy that she was dating with was also around the same age. And they've been going together for 3 years. She says, "We broke up a month ago. He called me on the phone after 2 days of limited contact and stated he could not be in the relationship and did not want to discuss it." Ouch. That's really mean and cruel to do to somebody. I mean, I've had to break up with people before, and I would certainly have any kind of conversations they needed to or discuss it in a way that I thought would be helpful to them. You know, not wanting to discuss things is really mean and cruel, in my opinion. Hinting that he tried before to break up and felt bad for me and didn't. Okay, so sounds like he was really struggling with this, and he's saying he felt bad for you and didn't do it, but he had really been wanting to. So he's been wanting out for a while. So had he maybe talked to you the first time, it would have gone a lot better. But because now he's just like, I want to break up with you and I don't want to talk about it. Because he's probably afraid you're going to try and talk him out of it. Maybe that's what he thought you would do the first time. 6 weeks before the breakup, after I questioned, he told me he had cheated on me with a female 2 months prior and continued to talk with her for a few weeks after. All right, so let's think about the time frame here. 6 weeks before the breakup, so a month and a half before the breakup, he admitted that he had cheated on her. So if you think about it, that means he was probably trying to break up with you before he had even cheated. Maybe he was wanting to break up with you to date this other girl, and so because he felt bad for you, he thought the best thing to do would just be to cheat. So this guy doesn't have a lot of integrity, because the right thing to do would be to be upfront and honest and end it with you in a way that you're dealing with it, not for 6 weeks holding on. And then it says here, and he continued to talk to her for a few weeks after. So he's dating you, he's hooking up with her, he's talking to both of you, making this a lot easier for him. How selfish of him, isn't it? We agreed to work on our relationship to mend. We agreed, or he was so tired of me trying to convince him that he finally said, all right, we'll work on it. He appears avoidant. His father wasn't emotionally available. I'm anxious, and I've been divorced, or I have divorced parents. My parents worked, and I didn't have a lot of relationship with my father. We did not live together, however, we were planning to. 5 weeks before the breakup, he stated he wanted to marry me. All right, little odd for the timing there, right? 6 weeks before the breakup, he says he wants to marry you. 6 weeks before the breakup, he cheats on you. And then 5 weeks before the breakup, he says he wants to marry you. Well, is that the kind of marriage we're going to have? You're going to cheat on me all the time? Because I'm not really interested in that. Wow, isn't that interesting? A week after he comes clean about cheating, then he says he wants to marry you. Sounds like he was probably really emotional and kind of all over the place there. He later told me part of him wanted this, meaning getting married, and the other part was just to make me happy. You don't want somebody to marry you just to make you happy. You really don't, because they won't really be in it, and they're not going to be happy, and they're going to be looking for a way out if they do it. At the breakup, he stated he could not see a future. She says the problems in the relationship were communication and getting needs met. She said, I was not respectful of time he needed to recharge. He noted he felt codependent to me in the end, and our relationship was toxic. He noted he could not face going to his parents after filing for a second divorce. Okay, so he's already thinking if you guys get married, there'll be another divorce. Not a good way to go into it, right? He was reactive to his emotions, which would change quickly. I do not think he was being completely honest with me about his thoughts and worries. Well, honesty doesn't seem to be this guy's policy, so I agree with you. Remember, he had cheated on you. He didn't tell you for a while. It sounds like you got it out of him. And then he's all over the place. And what was going on that he wound up cheating on you? Means he was unhappy and hadn't let you know there was something going on there. So I think you're right. He doesn't communicate well. He's not upfront. He stated he wanted a relationship and a family, which makes it confusing because those are things that I want. Being anxious, would not always communicate my needs directly, and asked him for more time. I deployed strategies such as thinking he should anticipate my needs or read my mind. For those of you that expect someone to read your mind, you are going to cause a lot of problems in your relationship. I have dated women like this where they'll say things like, you should know. You should know. That's not the way it works. Use your words. You're an adult. Communicate like an adult. We're not your mommy or your daddy. You have to communicate. Expecting someone to meet all of your needs when you're not even communicating them is going to lead to a huge breakdown in a relationship. You're going to get angry and resentful because they're not giving you what you want. And then you're going to start doing a lot of things. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get upset. It's not worth it. Don't expect somebody to know what you need. Talk to them. I was surprised at the breakup. But you knew he had just cheated on you 6 weeks ago. So I wouldn't be that surprised. I'm a little surprised you were surprised. I thought we were moving forward. Okay. I could see why you would think that, but after a major thing like that happens, it's going to take some time to really repair it. We had a miscommunication. I stated I was sad about a lack of affection over the day, and you didn't tell him, I'm sure, right? He wanted me to attend an event. I asked him what time. He took this as I don't want to make plans with him and his friends. It sounds like it was made through a text message. This is why I warn you guys. Text messages are not good. They lead to a breakdown in communication. It's fine for things like be there in 5 minutes or on my way, driving now. That's fine. But you don't want to do it for communicating important messages. A lot is going to get lost, including the tone, what somebody might mean. I see it happen all the time. Okay. 2 days later, he cut me out. I reacted anxiously. Texted several times. He responded with a text stating he got to his travel destination safe and he couldn't talk, he was busy. 2 weeks later, I wrote an email focusing on things I was lacking and how I could address that. He responded a week later, focusing on what I said, stating he couldn't be in a relationship, and noted he worked to get over me every day. That hurts, okay? That hurts to hear. When you have somebody tell you something like that, it's just going to feel like a knife in your chest. I mean, not only are they saying they're trying to get over you, but they're working at it. It's like, oh, gosh, that hurts. I could totally empathize with you on that one. Stated, out of respect, he would communicate over email. I responded clarifying my position on where I saw our lives going, how much his son and co-parenting. He stated he did not think I would be there in hard times meant to me, and asking for a second chance. No reply. Well, the guy had just told you that he was working hard to get over you every day, and that's his mindset. So asking for a second chance is not going to happen, not at this point. If he thinks about it in the future, maybe it's possible, but do you really want this guy back? He did cheat on you, and he didn't communicate what was going on that led up to the cheating, to him actually going through with it, and it doesn't sound like he came clean on his own. This was a few weeks ago, and I've been no contact since, and I won't contact again, right? Well, I wouldn't reach out to this guy. You made it clear in an email, and he didn't even reply to it. Is there any chance? I'm doing reading, therapy, I am changing. I need a clear plan of what to do from today. If he contacts me, what do I do to explicitly approach this? I'm sure everyone says this, and I truly believe we could have a healthy, happy relationship with a second chance. Okay, so yes, I know you can definitely improve things on your end. You had a lot of anxiety. It sounds like you're working on your anxious attachment style. I don't know if you've been doing the workbooks yet, but obviously they would help you a lot, especially because they're navigated around people that are going through a breakup, right? So you gotta heal your anxious ways and become more secure and confident, but that doesn't happen overnight. It takes real work, okay? You're kidding yourself if you think it's gonna happen easy. It's like if you want to go to the gym and get ripped, it ain't gonna happen going one time a week. It ain't gonna happen unless you actually go and put in a real effort. And that's why I did workbooks. They're real effort, right? So if he contacts you, my attitude would be like, okay, why don't we sit down and talk? This attitude of trying to ask for a second chance, I wouldn't have that attitude with him. My attitude would be, what's your agenda here? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what made you want to meet up? You said you were working to get over me every day. Where are you at now? And my other thing that's concerning is, you didn't communicate well with me about what was bothering you, and then you wound up cheating on me. How do I know you wouldn't do that to me again? I'm going to get real answers and have him show that he's going to be accountable as well for what he did wrong. And if he's not, and it's just this lopsided affair of you trying to convince him to take you back, it's just going to be another train wreck, okay? Because the relationship wasn't healthy, but it wasn't just you. You're taking all the blame here, but he was the one that cheated. He's the one telling you a week after he admits to cheating on you that he wants to marry you. Like, come on, he's allowing his emotions to dictate him and not acting like a responsible adult here either. So you got to take some time and really think about things he did in the relationship that you didn't like and what needs to be different. But stop taking all the blame here, because he definitely made some mistakes, and some pretty big ones too. And see what happens in the future. I don't think he's going to reach out right away. It's possible he does in the future, but I don't know. Maybe he went to that other woman and thinks it's going to be better with her. We'll see. Of course, If you want to get my help with your situation, go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Of course, Margaret is available for Skype coaching. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.